So Jenny, welcome. Everyone else that's here, welcome. It's kind of weird to me to do live in this way because I have a Zoom studio and on AgeDEFY Online, and in that Zoom studio, my students and we talk before class. I know how they're feeling. I know who's there. I know what they need, and then I teach the class for them. And then after class, whoever wants to stick around and talk about it, we get to create a connection after class as well. So. Um, Being, just on this live and it's just me, I'll probably end up rambling a little bit. I apologize in advance. I do like to get feedback and when I say things to have that, interaction with other people. So this will take a little bit of me getting used to, but I just want to go ahead and get right into it today. Thank you for everyone that's here. I am planning a live session at least once a month, especially as we roll out new program ideas. As always, I always have new ideas, and why I'm a business owner and why I do the things I do is because I love to put my ideas into motion. I'm not saying that every idea I have works, but when I have an idea, I like to put it in motion and see what will happen. The whole idea behind AgeDEFY is to experience new movement, new results on a daily basis, basically. I really encourage everyone to do a new movement workout every day, and that's what AgeDEFY is all about, and that's what we're going to dive in deeply in starting in September here on Patreon. So I'm breaking it down. At the end of last season, we did a 90-day challenge. So we did 90 workouts in 90 days, and I had 3 people complete that challenge. They did all 90 workouts in the 90-day time frame, and they loved that program. All 3 of those women came out feeling better than ever, more courageous, and ready for even more. They're also live class members. They come to live classes on Zoom. They do the AgeDEFY online workouts, but they still completed all 90 workouts in 90 days. That program is in collections. You could be like, I want to do that program. Then follow it from day 1 all the way to day 90. 3 people proved that it could be done. And if you talk to those 3 people, you would know how grateful they felt to finish that program, and also just the kickstart that they needed to be where they are today. So with that said, that's in the collections. Well, what we're going to be moving into this season, because every season is a new idea that I like to put in motion. This season are going to be 7-day programs. Okay, so September, our first week begins this Monday, September 8th. It's going to be 1 week, 7 days of spine therapy. You're going to learn how to move and create movement ability in the thoracic spine, your middle spine. So you will enhance your ability to flex, will enhance your ability to extend, will enhance your ability to rotate, and will enhance your ability to side bend, lateral flexion. That will be the first 7 days. Second 7 days, the second week of September, is foot therapy. 7 days of foot therapy workouts, big toe mobility, foot stability, balance work, pata banda, releve. Like your feet are going to feel it in such a good way on week 2. Week 3 is hip therapy, but without foot stability, without spine connection, there's nothing I can do for your hips. I don't believe that if you have painful hips, stiff hips, you need a hip replacement, you've had a hip replacement, I don't believe that we should just work on the hips, because that's where you feel your pain, stiffness, and or injury. So I'm not a big believer on that concept of like, if I have a hip injury, let's just work on the hips. If I have a hip injury, if I'm working with someone with a hip injury, I go to their feet and their spine, thoracic spine mobility, rib cage mobility, foot function is the top priority, especially if you have hip problems. So week 1 and week 2, and then week 3 is hip therapy. So everything we do prepares you for what's coming next. What we do in week 1, what we do in week 2 prepares you for week 3, hip therapy. And then we're going to end it starting on September 29th, the September program, with a week of lymphatic health. And perfect timing. I promise you it's going to be perfect timing. They're going to be doing lymphatic health starting on September 29th, because that starts to move into the cold and flu season, right? That starts to move into a new weather system. So with that said, you don't want to miss lymphatic health. Okay? I'm pretty excited about the month of September, and I haven't even thought about what we're going to do in October, but I can tell you it's going to be amazing, and it will be the same format. the weekly themes. We'll have a new movement therapy theme every week. So if you have an idea or if a request, you can certainly tell me in the comments. Let's talk about the comments too. If you're taking my classes, I don't necessarily know, because we don't have this back and forth communication style that we have on at AgeDEFY Online on Zoom. So I don't know who's taking my workouts. I don't know how they feel to you. For me to be a good coach to you, I need to know you, and I get to know you not through the stories you tell me about yourself, but through movement. I have a saying that says, "Movement reveals all." Every workout reveals something to you and to me. It might not reveal something to you right off the bat, but the more you work with me, the more you communicate with me, the more you tell me in the comments like, "Oh, standing on my right foot, I could not keep my foot stable." You could say something like that. Um, oh, when you had me do shoulder scapular rotations, I noticed that I don't have much flexion in my spine. Even just putting those comments down after each workout is almost like your workout diary, so that when you do go back and reflect over each week, and then maybe let's say you come back, we do spine therapy again, and let's just say November, right? You can go back to November and read your notes, and then or September, and read your notes and see your diary and see how you were feeling, and that will be able to compare to how far you've come with each and every workout. Okay, so with that, let's talk more in the comments. Tell me more in the comments. Let me just tell you something. I may not respond, and I don't want anybody to get upset. I'm a one-woman show. I'm handling it all, but I do read and absorb every comment, okay? And through that absorption comes the fact that I start actually teaching to you in the live classes. Even if you're not in the live classes, you can leave a comment that says, "Man, I'm having a really hard time with Hinge. I don't understand how to the zip and the unzip." And all of a sudden I'll read that comment, and I may not respond, but guess what? I spent a week in my live classes really going over the zip and the unzip because you said it, right? So every time you tell me something, I may not respond to it, but I do absorb it, and it does come out in my teaching and my coaching. So please talk to me more, but please don't get hurt if I don't respond, okay? Just know that it's just a lot. It's a lot. Think about all the channels I'm required to respond on, and I've just allowed myself grace and say I will respond when I can, if I can, but every comment matters to me because every comment makes a difference on how I teach classes from comment on. So with that said, please, if you feel comfortable, do that. Speak to me more about that. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? I think we need to talk about the spine, because Monday launches the spine therapy week. And what we're going to be focused on is enhancing your ability to move in the 4 natural movements of the spine. The thoracic spine is part of the spine that no one really talks about, okay? Because you can't really feel your thoracic spine, but everyone who has experienced back pain understands their lumbar spine, right? Their lower spine. Anyone that has a stiff neck or tight shoulders understands, knows, and has connected to their cervical spine, but not a lot happens in the thoracic spine. This part of the spine we just don't connect to in the mind until you find a coach like me that says, yes, you have to focus on your thoracic spine, because the thoracic spine is the main mover. You want to move less in your cervical and lumbar spine. You want to adhere to the natural curvatures of the spine. So let's begin there with the body knowledge clinic. Okay, the natural curvatures of your spine is you have 2 outward curves and you have 2 inward curves, and we want to make sure that we enhance the curvatures of your spine and adhere to the natural curvatures of the spine. The problem is that society has created a flat back syndrome in a lot of people. Okay, so that means the natural inward curve of the lumbar spine is now being pulled straight. Okay, so we get this flat back syndrome. It's not a good thing. We need to make sure that you have a natural inward curve of your lumbar spine. But the cervical spine is also a natural inward curve. So if you have forward head tilt, if you have a tech bump right here, like a bump forming right here, then this is making your lumbar spine flat and you're creating a hyperextension in your cervical spine, big problems. But am I going to fix your lumbar spine and your cervical spine by addressing your lumbar and cervical spine? Not really. The what I have to do is get you to move here more, because once this you have more movement in your thoracic spine, I'll be able to help you to adhere to the natural inward curvatures of your lumbar, lower back, and your cervical neck spine. Okay. So with that said, thoracic spine is where all the movement comes from. I do this in all my classes. I ask my people to never move their head. Like, don't move your head. Don't look down. Don't look up. Don't look over. Instead, you move your thoracic spine. Look, I flexed my thoracic spine. I extended my thoracic spine right here, and I haven't once moved my head. My head stays in position. The more you can learn how to move your body through the thoracic spine, initiate movement from the thoracic spine, I'm telling you, the better you are going to feel. And that's what this week is coming up about. I'm going to help you to enhance the movement of your thoracic spine. The 4 natural movements of the thoracic spine, we've gone over this, but we're going to do it again. Flexion. But we don't do spinal flexion by itself. We have to be able to have internal rotation of the shoulders. We have to be able to spread our shoulder blades. We have to be able to engage our chest muscles and engage our belly. And that's how we get true flexion. Okay. Extension, back bend, extension. The back bend happens here, not here, not here. But to be able to extend your spine, you have to be able to open your ribs, spread your ribs. You have to be able to activate your V muscles, the muscles between each shoulder blade. You have to be able to externally rotate your shoulders and lift your lines. So we need that movement here. That's spinal extension. Then we have side bending. Side bending is like, oh, it's such a feel-good movement. And if you're not able to side bend, then you have areas of you that are too tight, and we have to be able to move them. And the way we do that is we don't go down into a side bend. I teach you how to lift and to expand into your side bend. So that side bend is a lot of rib cage mobility. When your ribs are stuck like this, there's not a lot of movement. You become rigid and you have poor posture. But the more your ribs, I'm going to show you my ribs so you can understand what rib movement looks like. Look here. A lot of people have stuck ribs. They won't move at all. Watch mine. Look how much I can open them, right? And then I can move in that thoracic. A lot of people do crunches for better abs. If you want better abs, you have to first get your ribs moving. So rib cage mobility and side bends are going to be a lot of next week, okay? And then we have rotation. Okay, rotation should never happen here because you have your sacrum, one of the natural outward curves of the spine. You have your sacrum. It's a stability joint. It's not meant to move. So if you rotate in your lumbar area or your hips, you risk your sacrum moving, shifting. And when that happens, then we have lower back issues. We have sciatic issues. I mean, just we have issues. So we have to learn to rotate here in the thoracic area. So with that said, it is going to be a great week on Patreon, and I hope you won't miss it. I hope you will sign up. You can do the so how this season's going to be, and this season goes from September 8th to through the Thanksgiving holiday, so the end of November. And then I'll regroup in December and tell you what we're going to do in the start of 2026. But for now, we're just focusing on this season, this present season, the fall season right now. Okay. So with that said, you can sign up for tier 1 or tier 2 to do this program, right? To do these 7-day programs. Every week is going to be a new theme. Every day is a new workout. That goes for tier 1 and tier 2 studios. If you miss a day, if you miss a workout and you're wondering where it's at, you don't want to scroll down to find it, you can find everything in what's called the Move Young collection. You can just open that Move Young collection and do it that way, okay? So let's see here. What does Jenny say? Okay, so Patreon is not live. Patreon October. I'm not going to stick with lives yet. Hope to see you, class. Yeah. So Jenny is an AgeDEFY online student. So, I don't know. Live is so brand new. Like all of a sudden you said that. I'm like, oh, I could actually meet live and do that. But no, this Patreon is a video so that people can do it anytime they want. Right. So, but that doesn't mean that starting, that I don't get an idea forming that we do live 10-minute classes together. Who knows what will happen? This is a new version of Patreon. So every time they give me something new that I can utilize, I try to utilize and see how it works best. So we'll see what happens. But Jenny, either way, I'm happy that you are coming to the AgeDEFY online on Zoom classes. That's awesome. Let's see here. But now Jenny has my mind turning because I'm like, oh, we could do live 10-minute workouts together, but not right now. Right now, I'm going to focus on what we're doing. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to get one new workout every day emailed to you starting September 8th, emailed to you. You can grab the workouts from your email, play them right there. You can go to the website, log in on patreon.com/moveyoungliveyoung and do the workouts on the website. If you have the app, you can also go to the app. If you can't find any workouts, go to the Move Young collection and you'll be able to find them and, just have so much fun and try not to miss a day. Like I said, 3 women proved last season that they could get 90 workouts in 90 days. They're 10-minute workouts, right? And what they did, it was added the 10-minute workouts to everything else that they're doing. What they did was they set a minimum for themselves, a minimum goal that no matter what, they would do 10 minutes of AgeDEFY every day, no excuses. And everything else was a plus. So Heather, who finished the program, she also committed to coming to live classes on AgeDEFY Online, Morning Groove, every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. Central before work. And then she did the Patreon videos every day after work to transition from work to home, right? Or from home to work. So she did Morning Groove on Tuesday and Thursdays with me, live classes, and she did daily Patreon workouts. She also came to any of the weekend classes she was able to come to. Same thing with Deb. She did the Wednesday morning step flow live classes and the Saturday, or the step flow classes and the Saturday sculpt flow classes live. And she did every day Patreon workout and was able to finish 90 workouts in 90 days. So the 10-minute workouts, they're your minimum. This is what everyone should be doing, is at minimum at least 10 minutes a day of AgeDEFY. If you do, you will feel better. You will move better. You'll live better. You'll look better. Everything will just be better. Okay. 10 minutes of AgeDEFY every day. That's your minimum. But really, but then you keep up everything else. You have to create yourself a plan, create a 30-day plan. Say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go to the AgeDEFY online live Zoom classes every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 a.m. for Morning Groove. I'm going to do those 30-minute classes, and then I'm going to finish 4 weeks of daily workouts. I will not miss a day. That is just the 30-day plan you should set for yourself. Tell yourself, starting tomorrow, you will not miss a day. I promise you, if you try this for 30 days, I don't see how you'll be unhappy with the results. I can only tell you that you're going to be very happy with the results. Also, just remember one thing that how I motivated some of my members last season to finish all 90 workouts is think of the law of physics. An object in motion stays in motion, right? Unless acted upon by a force. An object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by a force. These daily 10-minute workouts is that force you need to go from I'm not moving enough or I'm not moving at all to I need to get in motion again. So just take it 10 minutes a day at a time and you will get in motion again. And when you get in motion again, then you start adding more and more, just like the ladies who finished last season's program did. Okay. An object in motion, all of a sudden life can happen to you. You got 90 days, you did 90 days of workouts, and then all of a sudden, your dog gets sick and you take a few days off. It's okay to take a few days off. What's not okay, or as long as you need to take off, what's not okay is to stay at rest. You use this Patreon studio to get yourself back moving again, to get yourself back in motion. So if you're in motion and life hits you and all of a sudden you find yourself taking some days off, a couple weeks off, don't stay there. Get moving again. Take it 10 minutes a day at a time. And then if you're in motion, don't let it stop. Try not to let it stop. And just say to yourself, set a boundary, no matter what, 10 minutes of AgeDEFY every day. No matter what, 10 minutes of AgeDEFY every day. I make it too easy for you not to do it. So I'm going to stick around for another couple minutes. You let me know if you have questions or comments or, suggestions or hopes. Let me know. I'll be here and answer your questions. I will just say really quick until questions come in, because I'm just not very good at just sitting here and just saying nothing. Why did I start Patreon? Patreon was inspired by the fact that about 3 years ago, I moved to Missouri. My whole life just changed, okay? I mean, I was 47, 48 years old, and my whole life changed. I lost my business. I lost my community, all my friends, every single dime I had to my name gone. All I had was a house left, and ended up having to sell that house, pay off all my business debts of 12 years of this business that I'd put my heart and my heart into, and it changed the lives of so many. And I just, the business ended up eating me alive, and so I had to sell my house and pay off all my business debts and move to Missouri with my son and start all over again online. And that's how AgeDEFY Online started. But then I started waking up with night sweats, and I started not being able to sleep past 3 a.m. And I was just like, and everyone was like, HRT, HRT. And I was like, I don't really want to go on HRT, and I'm not even in menopause yet. So what's happening to me? It was just stress, and it was just everything, every emotion that I had gone through. And so I decided that what I would do before bed every night is I'd go out and I would do what I called a 1-song workout. And I would just say, at minimum, do a 1-song workout. Go turn on a song and move your body. However you want to move your body, just move your body for 1 song. And so I did that. And it would be, I'd shuffle dance sometimes. I would lift weights. I'd kettlebell swing. I would chi flow. I'd mobility flow. Whatever it was, I set a boundary every night right before bed. I came out and did a 1-song workout. It could be even just been a 1 song of scapular rotations. It did not matter. I had to come out and do a 1-song workout every night before bed. And it worked. I stopped waking up. I'm still here. I'm still doing it 3 years later. I slept till like 5:30 this morning. I don't wake up at 3 a.m. anymore. I am not medicated. I truly believe you need to move everything, whatever is left over from the day. You can't expect yourself to go to bed and for the mind just to shut off. You have to move it out of your body. You have to release it. So I started the Patreon channel because I had people being like, on TikTok, people loved the idea, and people were like, how do we do it? And I need videos to follow. And so I started the Patreon studio, and that's how it started. Thank you. Yes, I've been doing some AgeDEFY at night. It's definitely helping with really good rest at night. Yes, Jenny, thank you. And yeah, if Ashley was here, she would tell you the same thing. There's a lot of people that use Patreon for sleep therapy, and it's encouraged that you do. So, you don't have to stop at just 1 10-minute workout a day either. You really could do 1 to get your day started right, and you could do 1 to end the day right. Just a suggestion from your coach. Jenny, thank you so much for being here and being on AgeDEFY Online. I have loved working with you. And also, Jenny, I don't know if you're still here, but I want to let you know that you're one of the people that inspired me to run and this is for everyone on Patreon, because this is a free event that I am going to be running every 3rd Sunday of the month. Starting in September, I'm going to be running a free hip therapy clinic for anyone that wants to come on Zoom, because anyone that needs hip replacements, anyone that has had hip replacement, anybody that suffers from sciatica, tight hips that are making their life just miserable, you need to be in these hip therapy clinics. And I want to be able to help everyone, because I know how important it is, and I know how well I can do with helping people bounce back after a hip thing. So please join me. And Jenny, thank you for inspiring that. I appreciate you too. I appreciate everyone for being here, for being on Patreon, for supporting my ideas, allowing me to have a space to put my ideas into motion. Some work, some don't, but it's all good because it's every time you move your body, every time you breathe with me, every time you say, I'm going to do a workout today, and you do that, that feeling that you get from that, from doing that and from following through, is just something that makes me very, very happy. So keep moving and grooving. Don't stop. Put a boundary up. Say, starting tomorrow on September 8th, you will never, unless you are sick, unless like life really gets you down. And even then, just don't let one day go by without at least 10 minutes of AgeDEFY every day. All right. Thanks, everyone.